everyone. Okay, I got a break in the rain, so I'm going to try to go through a quick run through of how you make your stock tanks look copper, or any color you want to do them. You could do a brushed metal, you could make them, they have fabulous paints out there, you could make them look like stone. And the same process will go, you would just use the different type of spray paint, that's all. So first thing you want to do is take off all stickers, all residue. And you use a product called Galvanized to take off all your residue for your stickers, because they put stickers all over everything these days in UPC codes and that kind of stuff. So take that off. I don't recommend painting your top because you're going to have to find a place to stop inside, and that's just going to add possible contaminants into your planting surface that you don't want to add. You don't need to add more paint in there. So I just left this nice brim, and I think it adds a nice detail. So you can either use frog tape and tape it off. Just be careful doing that in the sun because it makes it stick and you can't get it off. So then you'll have another thing to up. Not sure if it's going to rain again. We'll see if we get through this. Okay, so after you get all of your residue off from your stickers, next you want to go ahead and take your tulip bowl cleaner, and you will want to spread a thin layer of tulip bowl cleaner all over the surface, not the top, just the parts you're planning on painting, all over the surface of it. And then you want to let that sit. I probably let it sit for an hour the first time. Then I rinsed it all off. Next, you want to do it again. I did it twice to make sure I got that coating broken down that's on top, that's not going to accept your primer. Use rubber gloves, and you're going to use a scouring pad, just one of those flat blue, you get them at the grocery store, scouring pads to put on the, but you don't need to rub it hard. You're just going to put it on so that it looks like a light haze all over your tank. I'll show you a picture. I'll put up a picture of what your stock tank should look like at this point. Rinse it off, do it again. Repeat that whole process again. Leave it on for another hour, hour and a half until it's all completely dry. Rinse it off again. Next, you're going to take fine grit sandpaper. You don't want any coarser than that. Fine grit sandpaper, and you want to sand all over the surface, only where you're going to paint. Once you do that, you're going to use a product called Kills 2. Everybody pretty much has heard of Kills that has painted anything, but it's Kills 2. It'll have the number 2 on it. Again, I'm going to put up a picture, and it will say right on the front label, Galvanized. So you can use it on Galvanized. So you're going to use your little roller, and you're going to roll just the surfaces that you're going to paint with the primer. I did one coat. I don't recommend doing multiple coats because you don't want to make it so thick that when you're going to hit these a lot, you're going to be out here kicking them. My grandson has a little metal wheelbarrow. He can go wherever he wants with it. So you're going to get banged into them. So the thicker, just like with nail polish, the thicker that surface is, the more impact you chip it off. But if you want, I'm not a paint expert. If you want to put a couple coats, I didn't find it necessary. They've now been out here almost a year. Sand, ice, wind, 2 tropical storms, and there's not a scratch on them, so it works to do it my way. So 1 coat of Kills 2 primer, brushed on with the roller, watching that you don't get too much on here. If you didn't tape it off. Once you get the Kills 2 primer, then you're going to let that dry. I probably only let it dry for an hour and a half to 2 hours. It says it dries in an hour and you can paint it in an hour on the actual can. So once I did that, then I put them on their side for the primer, and I just did one side at a time. Just would go around the edges when they were laying on their sides. And then I would flip them, and after an hour and a half I would do the other side. So yes, you have to, it does slow you down. You have to do one side and then the other side. Then I did the same thing with the paint, except I stood them back up to do the paint. And you want to get the one with that nice spray trigger. Don't get the ones you have to depress with your index finger, because you will get so fatigued doing this many tanks, you know, and you might want more, 6, 8 tanks. So you want to get the trigger spray that you can just hold it and spray across, and you want to take sweeping motions across. Don't let it run or coagulate. If it does, take a sponge really quick and get it off of there, because you don't want any, or it's not going to translate as copper. You want that surface to be really smooth. And so just really light. And if you've never spray painted before, get a piece of cardboard and practice. Practice doing a fine spray. You don't need it to be thick. I believe I coated it 3 times with light spray. For these four stock tanks, I bought 12 cans of it. I only used 10 of them. So again, a fine spray until all the areas are covered. A good tip is get your kills too, if you can get them to tint it with a copper tint. Some places will do that for you and tint it for you. Then it will be easier to cover if your primer is tinted. So once you get that done, you can either go over them. I did not, but you can go over them with a marine-based polyurethane, if you'd like, that's used for boats. I didn't do that. So, but I have looked into it. So if you want an extra protection, you can do that. Again, I didn't do that. And then at the end, I just took acetone very lightly on my edge, and just straight acetone, and got the paint off of it. Any around here, and made them look super neat. And you can see there's just, you have a nice, beautiful line there. So, you know, either use a steady hand, use cardboard to block, or one of those big spatulas for spackling. And that's it. That's all you do. And they've lasted a year. The rain is starting to really come down, so I'm going to get inside. But this is what they look like when they're done. They're gorgeous, and you can give them any look you want. I wanted a little bit more sophisticated look, I guess, I would say, for this area, and not just the standard farm tank look. But I mean, not that that's a bad look, if that's the look you're going for, but I like the clay pots, and I love how the clay pots play off of the copper. And then we're going to do a black greenhouse, so the copper and black look. I think it's really going to come together nicely, and that was just part of my design. So whatever you have vision-wise in your head, just look for the look that you would like. But that's how they were done, and I hope this has helped you out. And good luck with your project. Have a great day.